Welcome to Screen Riot. This week's movie is Knives Out, a mystery from 2019. This episode will contain major spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's available to stream and rent on all the major platforms. Go check it out and come back to the podcast because this is Screen Riot.
Welcome to Screen Riot. I'm Justin, and I'm joined with co-hosts Eddie, Kyle, and John. And this week we are taking a look at a mystery film from 2019 called Knives Out. So if you haven't seen Knives Out, definitely go check it out. But it's about Harlan Thrombey, who's played by Christopher Plummer. He's a successful mystery writer who is found dead in his study.
Dun dun dun!
Yes, but the apparent suicide does not sit well with Detective Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, who was hired by an unknown party to investigate the death. The film has an ensemble cast and also stars Chris Evans, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, and a bunch more people. So this was written and directed by Rian Johnson, who is a pretty prolific writer and director nowadays. He's done, obviously Knives Out. He did Looper. He did Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. He wrote and directed all of these. Did you know there's a sequel to this movie coming out?
Yes, I saw.
It's called Knives In.
Nope.
Knives Out 2. Let's be more creative than that.
Oh, God.
Sponsored by In-N-Out Burger. Yeah.
Yeah. It's written and directed again by Rian Johnson. But
Okay.
it's only been announced, so it hasn't started filming or anything. It's just I think the script is done.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
that's the hardest part, I guess.
well, I would say the filming would be the hardest part, but sure.
I mean, getting something on paper and actually having something complete on paper is pretty difficult.
I think waiting's the hardest part.
Waiting?
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
That's the whole movie.
Again, y'all love me.
But
Here all week.
I don't get it.
this is a lyric from a song.
Oh.
Anyway, but what it's about is it has nothing to do with this first movie.
Of course not.
It's the only thing that brings over to the sequel is the Benoit Blanc character. It's just him following him on another case.
Okay.
I wonder if this is going to be like, because you have this ensemble cast in Knives Out.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like the Red movies,
Maybe.
where you've got the ensemble cast for all the subsequent
I
films.
would hope so.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
I like the Red movies. Those are cool.
Yeah. So we did all that stuff. So Oscar-wise, right? We were talking about ensemble casts and Oscars a couple episodes ago, or last episode. So 2020 Oscars. So this was nominated for original screenplay, but it didn't win.
Okay.
The winner was Parasite. That was that year, last year's Oscars. So the other nominees in that same year were Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for original screenplay.
Yeah.
So I kind of see why I didn't win.
Yeah.
I really like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, so do
I would have probably done that more than Parasite, but
Yeah.
anyway.
I haven't seen Parasite. Was it any good?
I actually have not seen it yet either. It
Okay.
won Best Picture, and I think he won Best Director, and it won Screenplay, and all kinds of stuff.
I feel like I had better things to do than to watch the Oscar nomination movies, but that's just me. Yeah.
So again, that was the only thing that this was nominated for. It wasn't nominated for Best Picture, because I just wanted to go over what nominees were Best Picture at that year. So obviously Parasite, because we just mentioned that it won, but it was also Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit,
Wow.
Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917,
Holy cow.
Once Upon a Time in America, or
Damn.
in Hollywood.
That was a good year for movies.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good movies in that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
1917
1917.
was really good.
I really enjoyed Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
I like Jojo Rabbit too.
Yeah. I didn't care to watch Marriage Story. That sounded way too depressing.
So I was going to say Ford versus Ferrari was a good movie.
No, I was about to say, that
I
was a
liked
good
that
movie.
one.
Yeah.
What was it really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I liked
haven't
it.
either.
Christian Bale is British like he's supposed to be, and Daniel Craig, looking at you, and Matt Damon does a pretty cool Carol Shelby.
Where's the horsepower? Did he do
Yeah,
that?
no, he didn't.
No?
Matt Damon. And I like Joker. I like Joker.
Where's the finish line?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Checkered flag.
No, he was just British.
So speaking of, let's just kick it off with the thing that you hated about this movie, about Knives Out. which is going to be the Benoit character.
In Knives Out too, apparently.
The
Yeah.
portrayal of Daniel Craig, his accent. That's the thing that you hated the most, right?
I don't know if I hate it the most, but I definitely didn't like it a lot. Like I don't know. I just would rather them have picked. Like I'm not one of these people that thinks that the actor has to be whatever they are in real life to be able to play the character. I'm not that person. But whenever British guys,
Method acting.
yeah, but especially British actors when they try to act like put on American accents, Christian Bale to me is probably the master of it because I thought that he was American. I didn't know he was British, like American Psycho. I didn't know he's British, right? Daniel Craig is very, very, very much a British actor.
Yes.
To have him put on this accent here and I say, I'm going to teach some shit. I'm like, oh, God. It's
pretty much Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so deep, too. I'm like, why is his voice so bassy? He's not that ever. Ever is his voice that bassy.
So you didn't like him in Logan Lucky then?
No,
I
I didn't.
did not like Logan Lucky.
No.
I actually kind of enjoyed that one.
Yeah, he's trying to. I agree.
That's my
as the resident countryfied accent co-host on the show. It was a horrible accent. It was like a hoity-toity, old school money, old school plantation style.
Well, he was Colonel Sanders from The Waterboy.
You
He's
know?
like, Colonel Sanders, Mama's right, you're wrong. Like it was the heavy set guy from Waterboy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
can
just
see it,
it's that, and I don't know. He doesn't look. Maybe it's just me. Maybe he's just typecast now as Bond, and I can see him in World War II dramas more than I can see him in this type of movie. But I just didn't think he was well cast. I think
what was it? Defiance or Defiant?
Defiant.
Yeah. Or no, it was Defiance. Yeah. It was Defiance. Yeah, that movie to me he does well in. Right, this movie I just didn't care for him.
Well, it's interesting. Well, sorry, but I just wanted to make a quick comment about it. Apparently, there was a real person that he took that speech pattern from that whole thing.
Alec Baldwin.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
So there's a Southern historian named Shelby Foote, Foote, and he's basically just been in a ton of documentaries over the 40 years or whatever, like on baseball, Civil War, Gettysburg, Lincoln, all kinds of different stuff, and he talks like that. Like I went and found a clip of this guy. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
From what I could tell.
Okay.
But now why he did it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because his name is Benoit Blanc from Louisiana. You gotta talk like you got thick molasses coming out your mouth. Like, oh my God,
that was a pretty good impression of Daniel Craig doing an impression of Shelby Foote.
There you go. Thank you.
Doing an impression of Foghorn Leghorn.
One of my better impressions, apparently. But
he didn't sound like he was from Brooklyn.
You kind of
it was bastardized.
Listen
through three different people.
Okay. Listen. Anyway,
you kind of had Sean Connery going out there for a little bit.
Yeah. My other actor complaint would be Chris Evans. I just don't like. I don't like Chris Evans in most things. Chris Evans to me is very much Captain America, and in that I'm both complimenting him and deriding him all at the exact same time.
I thought he did pretty good as a sleazy type person.
You're right.
What's funny is like you hate both of my characters that I liked in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
And,
I like that. I like the girl in it. I actually liked. Because I like that I could believe who she was.
Are you talking about Marta?
Yes, Marta. Yeah. I like that I could believe her as a character. Oh, and fuck, what's her name too? I don't like her at all anymore.
There's a lot
Jamie Lee Curtis.
I really like Jamie Lee Curtis in this.
Fuck her too.
Yeah, I thought
her and her Activia commercials. Activia.
Going back to Chris Evans, it's
you got to get the bowels moving.
Yeah,
that's right.
Jesus.
Going back to Chris Evans. Go ahead.
Got to be regular on the TV shows.
That's why he invented 32 herbs and spices. So going back to Chris Evans, though, it was funny because I was looking a lot of trivia for this movie. And Ryan Johnson said that the scene where Chris Evans, when we first meet him, he gets out of the car and the dogs are barking at him and all. He said that that was the finest piece of acting he's ever seen, is that scene from Chris Evans.
Okay.
What?
Because his reasoning is because that Chris Evans loves dogs so much, and anytime that Chris Evans is around a dog, even if it's the first time they've met him, the dogs like him too, for some reason.
Well, he did that one movie that they filmed a dog pound or something like that, right? And was that Chris Evans? It was like an independent movie, but they went and filmed a dog pound, and he was like, well, I hate all these dogs being here, and so like all of the cast and all of the crew pretty much they just wiped out the whole dog pound. Like,
they just adopted
them all.
I heard something about that. Yeah.
Okay, so you brought up Ryan Johnson. Let me say this real fast. So I looked through Ryan Johnson's filmography as a director.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like any of them. There's only one movie that I kind of liked, which was Looper.
Mm-hmm.
And all the rest, and I'm not even saying it was a good movie. Like, it was okay.
Right.
Beyond that, I can't put up one movie that he did that I like. I'm going to blame Ryan Johnson with this one.
Oh, it was Gifted?
Yeah, it was Gifted.
I never saw it.
Gifted, the one with, so Chris Evans plays, I think,
Frank.
the uncle
of
a girl who ends up being like, she's special ed in a good way. Like, I say in a good way. She's gifted. She's got, a high intelligence level. What's her name from Parks and Rec? The sister of John Ralphio is in that. The
Money
Please, that girl.
Money Please.
Yeah. But back to Knives Out. Go ahead, Justin.
Which I really liked Chris Evans in this. I liked his assholishness in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like the total just go away. I don't like my family anymore. You guys can all just go out and die.
It's very relatable.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it's totally to me it's different than like any other movie that he's been in.
Yeah,
like a caring person. Like this one's just a total 180 and be like, yeah, you guys can go after yourselves.
So if I take away my dislike for a lot of the character choices, cast choices, I should say, if I take that away, I do agree that like the way that Ransom treats his family and all that kind of stuff, I found it comical. There was some one-liners in it that I laughed about. I mean, there was definitely
eat shit.
Yeah.
You eat shit. You definitely eat shit.
I laughed at that. Yeah, I mean, there were quite a few times when I found myself chuckling.
Well, and I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but when Walt's comment to that when he leaves, it's like you hear it. It's off in the distance. He's like, "I will not be eating any iota of shit."
Yeah, which was ad-libbed.
Was it?
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That guy, by the way, I forget that actor's
Michael
name.
Shannon.
Michael Shannon. I like him.
I like Michael Shannon. Yeah,
from in a weird way, but he's always so like he was in that movie Bug. Did you guys ever see Bug?
No.
It's basically a de-evolution between this couple who are in a hotel room, and the guy Michael Shannon believes that he has bugs crawling under his skin, and he convinces the woman that she also has bugs crawling under her skin.
Heroin's a hell of a drug.
Well, the thing is that by the end of the movie, I'm still not 100% sure if it was actually happening or if it was they went like crazy.
Oh wow!
But it's this weird dynamic. Anyway, he always to me seems very, 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 very white trash. Like just very trailer park.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, in this movie, he was channeling Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, you got that from this movie, really?
Michael Shannon?
Yeah, but not like obviously to the Oscar worthy of Heath Ledger's Joker, but like just the weird, like the cadence of his talk, and it would be really bad.
Well, that's how he talks.
If this really happened.
Did you ever see Premium Rush?
No.
He's the bad guy in Premium Rush, and he's yelling at that guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's yelling at. He was in Looper actually with Bruce Willis. He was the guy. Shit, I'll look it up in a second.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he's yelling at him, and that's just Michael Shannon's normal speaking pattern. He sounds.
So it was just weird because I'm like, man, it kind
of
of sounds like the Joker in a way.
Yeah,
but it's weird.
Well,
he had that creep vibe to him.
I'd be interested to know if
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'd be interested to know if
who's in this movie too.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
He has a little cameo appearance.
Oh, weird. Okay, we'll go back to that.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We'll have to go back to that. I would be interested to know if he actually had to wear that boot that he was wearing, the ankle,
or if he was injured.
Like if he was actually injured. Because, I mean, to me, the cane made him more interesting.
It made him more, not proposing,
Imposing.
That's the word.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they used it in that hallway scene with Marta, where he's like stamping out, and she's obviously stressed out and stuff.
It's like she's gonna beat her across the face with it.
Yeah, if it was Star Wars, the Empire Strikes Back, where Luke gets in the car accident, but not Luke, Mark Hamill gets into a car accident, then they use it basically within the movie, like he gets attacked by an ice monster.
Right.
If it was Michael Shannon was actually injured, and then Ryan Johnson, in a brilliant directorial move, went, cool, you have
we
a
could
cane.
use this. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do this. Then
Who
okay,
knows?
then
I
good
don't-
job. You know what I mean?
Do you know if that is?
props where it's
I
due.
don't. I would love to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, props where it's due.
That
if
has
that's
not
the
come
case.
up through any research that I was doing.
The cane is probably a lot better than the scooter. Could you imagine?
Right? Wee!
Could you
that
imagine
one-legged scooter
Yeah,
thing?
that,
No,
that hallway scene.
So if it
He's
was
like, is like,
Royal Tenenbaums,
I don't know. That might be creepier.
Royal Tenenbaums director, what's his name again? Royal
Wes Anderson.
Wes
Tenenbaums.
Anderson.
Wes Anderson. If it was a Wes Anderson film, it would have been the wheelie scooter.
And he would have
Yeah.
started all the way at the end of the
yeah,
hall,
yelling,
yelling, and then he would have scooted up to her.
and chased her down the
Actually,
hallway with the thing.
We should remake that scene.
hang on, Marta. Let me roll over there.
Jesus, when you do that, I can kind of hear the Joker thing.
Yeah,
with Shannon.
He
Mark
has
Shannon-
that
Michael
weird
Shannon.
that weird cadence to
Yeah,
it.
he
It's
does.
weird.
What I wanted to mention before we jumped off topic was the whole eat shit thing.
yeah.
And I found something interesting about it. In the original script, it was "fuck you." So fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Right?
Too many fucks.
Too many fucks. So actually, during the scene, right before they started shooting, Ryan was like, "Wait a minute, we can't do this." He's like, "I want this to be like a PG, not a rated R."
Yeah, PG-13.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
because that's the kind of mysteries that I grew up watching. None of them were R.
Right.
Right? So he's like, I want to keep this in that same level. So he changed it to eat shit, which gets through censors.
So let me get this right. So you got a throat being slit. You
Yeah.
got a shit ton of cuss words.
We didn't. Well, I guess you did see the throat being slit.
Yeah, you see the throat being
it.
slit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
we
it's
don't
on
see
screen.
like aftermath though.
Well, we do see aftermath because he's got blood and stuff. We don't see the actual
Well,
blood coming out of his throat,
right.
technically, but we
That's
see
that's
his
how
throat
you actually
covered in
break
blood.
censor.
I
Yeah.
don't know. That's
And
I'm
then
calling
the word
shenanigans on that.
And then the word you're calling shit on that.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. But yeah, the word fuck, if it's used more than
I think you get two allowances.
Yeah.
I've heard different things. I've heard one, and
I think
I've heard
it's
two.
one.
Is it one?
I'm pretty sure it's one.
But
You're
I'm
allowed one
pretty
F-bomb.
I'm pretty sure I've seen movies that are not R that has two in it. So
Maybe it's how it's said.
I don't know.
Like,
Could
you
be.
know.
I mean, fuck is a very versatile word.
yeah, it is.
Yes, as Reservoir Dogs taught us.
So let me. I don't know what you want to jump to next, real fast. I do have a question. Do you guys think this movie could have been about 45 minutes shorter?
It could have been shorter.
I don't know if
I
it
think
could
so.
or not.
I felt like the explanation by Benoit Blanc at the end was interesting. I'm not saying
yeah.
it wasn't interesting, but goddamn, it was 20 minutes. It was 20
Right.
minutes long of having him explain the whole first 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah, it's a 2 hour and 10 minutes
Yeah,
is what the full running time is.
I'm thinking a 90-minute would have been nice. Would have been crisp. Would have been clean. We would have gotten to it a little quicker.
You're cutting 40 minutes?
Yeah.
That would be
That's
pretty
a little-
difficult
yeah.
to do on this movie.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's whole scenes where I'm like, why is that?
I would
necessary?
say at max maybe 15.
Well,
Max.
let me ask you this: the scene where she went back to her house with her family and all that, the apartment, was that necessary? Like, I'm thinking you could have run this movie like Clue, like she spends most of the movie at the house, other than the little traipse around the city for the one time to meet Jane at that, I guess, laundromat.
Abandoned laundromat,
Yeah.
yeah.
But beyond that,
Well, you'd
almost
have
everything
to-
else is taking place at the house.
Yeah, but then you would have to cut out her the importance of her family and like her mother being here. And
well,
all
no,
that kind of stuff.
we saw her at the beginning.
Well,
We-
I
yeah, we see
understand
it at
that,
the
but
beginning,
they're
yeah.
using that as like a not like
Well, it's
a better term.
it's her motivation to.
Well, they're holding her hostage pretty much. So they're like, hey, we're gonna blackmail you
Yes.
if you don't actually give us our money.
No, I'm with you. But he could have made that threat at the house.
Yeah, and what he did.
Well, no, he didn't. He did it in the hallway. He did it in the hallway outside of her apartment.
Oh, well, they did it at the house too.
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
that's my point. They
kept bringing up her family. So
Yeah.
with her being at the apartment, it shows like her current living situation. It shows her family. It shows her mom and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's needed, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting too because there's little subtle hints that I think Ryan did in the script that were really excellent. Like you could tell that every member of the family a big facade about how much they cared about Marta.
Oh, of course.
Because they mentioned about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times like where she's from. Mm-hmm. It's all over the place. One person says Ecuador,
Brazil,
one person says
Honduras.
Brazil, one
Yeah.
person says
Nobody
Honduras.
knows anything about her.
Yeah.
But she's family.
but
Oh,
she's
yeah.
family.
Oh, we love her like family.
Well, what I liked was the initial interrogation. They're explaining the birthday party, and each person
That was another way.
is right next to the birthday,
Yeah.
not right next to
They're
Harlan.
they're putting the cake down, and
Yeah.
like
I
they're
did-
the ones
I did
that
like
loved him
that.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
It was subtle, and I was like, I noticed it pretty early on,
Yeah.
like
well,
you did. Yeah.
Well, also early on they say, "Hey Marta, how are you doing? I wanted you at the funeral, but I got outvoted." Like 4, 5 people say that to her.
Yeah,
When
Jamie
you-
Lee Curtis says it, and Michael Shannon says it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, and then when you start going back, go wait a minute, that couldn't have happened because they
Yeah.
wouldn't have been an outvote.
yeah,
Yeah.
there was nobody else there.
Everybody
Yeah.
would have voted.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know. I felt like it was hammered home pretty well. I don't know. There were certain things to me anyway that gave away the mystery early on. And the closing scene, by the way, the part with the knife and Chris Evans. As soon as he grabbed the knife, I was like, fake knife.
Oh, see, I didn't see that coming.
I knew it was gonna be because Harlan mentioned to her in that you don't have stuff like that little conversation that they had in the room
Yeah.
where he talks about the knife being fake and you can't tell the difference between a real prop and the blah blah blah.
Right.
You don't have that kind of conversation unless somehow later on in the movie
Right,
it's
it's gonna
gonna
make
be
sense,
it's gonna
yeah.
make sense. And I was like, it's gonna be a fake knife. And then he stabs her with it, and I was like, it's still fake. And then he's like, shit or damn or whatever he says.
Well,
I don't
okay,
know.
so that scene was a little bit long. I mean, it was in there for comedic reasons.
Yes.
Because he started to move it up and down, and you can hear the spring going.
See, I didn't hate that. I would
Yeah.
keep that in still.
But-
I thought that was funny. Yeah.
But in a real
Psycho.
real life scenario, obviously, the guy would have been taken off.
Oh, immediately.
Way sooner.
Oh, immediately.
But they
Yeah,
kept that in there for comedic effect.
Yeah, for the
and be like,
timing.
it was actually a fake knife. Holy cow.
Well, in a real
And then-
in a real scenario, the chase that she takes them on, and then Benoit Blanc goes out and goes, "Well, he told you to run, right? Well, let's just drive together.
Yeah.
Like you're not in trouble from running from the police for the last 20 minutes.
Well,
let's pretend that didn't happen." Like,
I can kind of see that just because I think he immediately trusts her because of her condition that she has when she throws up when she tells a lie.
which is the weirdest.
So-
yeah,
So he definitely can trust her
yeah.
by just asking her 1 or 2 questions, and then he's like, okay, now I know which one's the truth, and we can go on from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're talking real life, like where Chris Evans would have been pulled off at the end, she would have been arrested for that car chase.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like stopping in the middle of traffic and shit, almost causing a pileup with the police. They would have called that attacking a police officer. Like you can't.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying if we're going after Chris Evans not being pulled off at the end, the car chase, she would have been arrested in a heartbeat.
and that's
So-
where Joseph Gordon-Levitt's little cameo comes in, is during the car chase.
Oh, really?
After they stop her and Benoit gets out, you hear over the audio, the police scanner, you
Yeah.
hear this woman talking, and then you hear a male voice like respond to her. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, really?
Jesus
He's-
Christ! So he's not even on.
Not even
screen?
really on screen.
Well,
just-
I also heard that the soap opera that Marta's sister is watching,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
also Joseph Gordon-Levitt
I forgot
really?
about that.
in
yeah.
that scene. Yeah.
That's funny.
I thought he was like one of the cops that were like taking Chris Evans away or something, that they
Nah.
put makeup on him or something. But
Do you guys know Ricky Jay, the actor, magician
No.
guy?
not quite Ricky Jay.
Yeah, if you look him up, I think you'll know him by his looks. He was in oh god, I can't remember the movie now.
Was he the grandmother?
No. Well, apparently he was supposed to be in this movie.
Ransom.
Ransom.
No, I was laughing because when I looked up Ricky Jay, DJ and rapper from Montreal, Quebec.
No, that's not him.
No? Okay.
No, he's like a larger.
Yes, I know this guy.
Yeah.
He looks like he's Russian or something. He looks like an old
Oh,
Russian.
yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. If you look him up, you'll know who he. Yes, that guy. That's Ricky Jay. He's like a famous magician, and
The card
turned
thrower,
actor, and yes, he has like the world record for
Okay,
the
so he was
furthest card.
He was
thrown or
in
something.
Heist.
Heist.
He
That's
was in
the movie I
Heist,
was
yeah,
trying
with
to think of.
Gene Hackman.
And-
Guys, he
Yes.
was in Boogie Nights.
And Boogie Nights,
He
yes.
was Kurt Long John.
The Prestige.
In The Prestige. That's right.
The
yeah.
Prestige is
He's a
amazing.
good actor. Anyway, he
Yeah.
was supposed to be in this movie,
Okay.
but he passed away right before they started filming. So that sucks.
What was he gonna be?
Well,
Yeah.
the whole reason I brought it up is because Ryan Johnson is a big fan of Ricky Jay.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of scenes where basically Ricky Jay's portrait is like on the wall
Oh.
or something.
okay.
So,
That's cool.
yeah. that's
Do you
kinda-
know what he was supposed to be though?
I don't know. I'd have to look it back up.
Okay. Interesting.
But what's kind of sad is we're reviewing this movie and the main guy, Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
He died in February of this year, which that sucks.
It
Not
does.
by suicide, by the way. Not by suicide.
And it was Benoit Blanc there
Yeah.
to figure out what on.
We gotta solve this case.
So we've established that the foghorn Daniel Craig is not,
And he did not
good.
stutter.
It's Bond, Foghorn Bond.
Foghorn Bond.
Go ahead, sorry.
I have a bone to pick with this refrigerator magnet that can apparently degauze a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
like, where are
as
you
someone
going
who
with
has
this?
who has degauzed tapes, a refrigerator magnet is not
Not gonna
not
do it.
Powerful
gonna
enough.
mess it up.
Yeah.
It has to be an electromagnet.
Yeah, it has to be
But,
powered.
yeah, I've got a problem with that. Though I did like the security guy.
Well, that guy has been in a shit ton of things.
Yeah,
too.
he's like, oh yeah, it's that guy.
My son was like, "Oh, he looks rough," and I'm like, "Yeah, that guy. That's actually I know that actor pretty well, and he's fallen apart.
He
Like,
recently
he's-
passed away too.
Yeah, you could tell he was on his way out.
But
I mean, it sucks.
the thing I know him from, the TV show that I know him from growing up was Home Improvement. He
Yes.
played Jill's Jill's dad, the patent lover. My favorite movie in the world, Patton.
Who else died? Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, so I was looking up Ricky Jay, who he was
How
supposed to
dare
be.
you?
Activity.
He was supposed to be the security guard.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See, now I think Ricky Jay would have been a good member of the family.
I think so too.
I think possibly replacing, or you know who I didn't like, especially besides Jamie Lee Curtis, was her husband,
Don
Johnson.
Don Johnson.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Ricky
that
Jay be like his either Christopher Plummer's brother or be
Don
Jamie
Johnson's
be
character.
Don Johnson's character. I really didn't like him, but I will say that if Ricky Jay was Don Johnson's character, then Chris Evans would make no sense. Where Chris Evans
Right.
looked like he could be Don Johnson's son. I was
Well,
like, oh
and-
god, they're both two shit heels together.
And Ricky Jay is too affable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the Don Johnson character is just kind of like an asshole.
yeah. But
And when he cheats on his wife. And,
but in Boogie Nights, I mean, Ricky Jay was kind of an asshole. I mean, he was like a sleazeball porn guy. I mean, I could see
I
that
guess.
fitting with this family. Sure, why not? You got the masturbating. Oh God, that was the other thing I didn't like. By the way, the leftist liberal bullshit that was constantly thrown through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, he's an anti. What did they say? He's an Islamophobic troll and all
he's
this.
basically a Nazi.
Yeah, I was like, what?
yeah, they called him a Nazi a few times.
A few
kid.
times, and then like they think they said something about, they didn't say Trump, but they said something along the lines of like, well, he voted this way, or he would have voted this way, or something. I was like, God damn, like we get it. You guys are a bunch of assholes. You don't need to put this into this movie. It made no sense.
Well,
It
so
was forced at
the
best.
whole reason that character even exists in this movie
Yeah,
is because of Ryan Johnson's experience of internet trolls and comments and forum posts about Star Wars 8.
yeah. Well, Star Wars 8 was awful.
The
that was
Last Jedi.
that was the other thing too. I was gonna say I don't like any of Ryan Johnson's movie, especially Star Wars 8. Fuck them. Go ahead.
But I mean,
Wow.
that's
So
the whole reason.
hostile.
He basically said that this character was an embodiment of all those people who were pissed off at him for Star Wars 8.
So does that include when they were looking up like how they can go against the will? They're like, oh, did you just Google that?
I don't know.
So hold
Yeah.
on. So
Probably.
that character is supposed to embody all the nerdy Star Wars trolls that were pissed off, and I'm including myself in this as well, for a guy who basically ruined the whole franchise with that last movie and all of the other movies that he's done in that. Because didn't he do the first one too? Didn't he do Force Awakens?
No.
No, he didn't do Force Awakens. Who did Force Awakens?
Was that J.J. Abrams?
I think it was.
Okay.
Don't remember.
I'll look it up.
Because fuck it, J.J. Abrams too, because that movie was awful as well. But anyway, so where does the right
So here,
conservative shit come into play? Go ahead.
Don Johnson's character.
yeah. Well, I'll read you here. Jacob Thromby, played by Jaden Martle, the preppy grandson to the film in the film who's always on his phone, was a character influenced by those that voiced their criticisms online over writer/director Ryan Johnson's previous film, Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi, who he continues to characterize as trolls and man babies.
Okay.
So basically, he's just saying that the
Man
political
babies.
right, or man babies, I guess.
No, but that's my point. Where does the political right come into play?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it would make more sense
It's
for
just
them to
what
look
his
like
outlook,
you.
I guess.
I know, but it would make more sense for him to look like you and be pissed off rather than be like this apparently right-wing troll.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely hated on. They made the audience want to hate Don Johnson's character just because of the way he was talking about immigration.
Yes.
And he's like, if it comes through legally,
Yeah,
and
no.
go through the process, that's great.
But that's my point.
and
Is
I,
that
and I
there's
like
this
how
whole
they bring in Marta into this, and they're like, yeah, come on into this. And
Which that all props up all the stuff, what they're going to hold her accountable,
Exactly.
not accountable, but her hostage as.
yes,
I don't know.
Later.
I agree with you on that part. I just don't think the underlying like anti-right shit was necessary. I just
Yeah,
didn't think
no,
it was
I agree.
necessary. Like
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson wants to be against internet trolls for Star Wars. Fine. The kid should have been living in his basement, Harlan's basement, and hitting, I don't know, tapping out Morse code or something like, "I don't like you guys."
Well, I mean, he was on the phone the whole time.
yeah,
so,
I don't know. The right wing shit I didn't understand.
what are you doing in the bathroom for over an hour?
I did like the daughter, Joni's daughter, who I can't remember that woman, the actual actress's name.
Oh, Catherine Langford, Meg.
I liked Meg.
Yeah,
Yes,
Meg,
I liked
yeah.
Meg.
Yeah.
Even without her left wing SJW shit, but I love that they actually called her out for that. Your SJW degree. And
Oh yeah,
stuff.
you're going to college for
thought
your.
that was
how's
funny.
your SJW degree going?
But again, it's not.
Yeah,
I just
why
didn't
is
think
it?
it was necessary.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like Clue, like an updated version of Clue, and instead it.
Maybe he was just trying to stoke the political divide of his audiences to make the whole immigrant hostage thing with the family more impactful at the end.
Yeah.
Honestly, it didn't do that to me. What it did to me was because I didn't think that was played up enough to be that. You know what I mean? I think they mentioned it, but I didn't think it was like.
Well, then they should have showed more of Marta in her apartment and her home life.
Yeah, maybe the movie should have been 4.5 hours long. I don't know. I want to see like a whole like I Love Lucy thing. She busts in like, "Mama, I'm here." No, it's Marta. Like I don't, something like that.
TV series.
TV series.
Knives Out.
Knives out and out and out. Anyway, I don't know. That was there were some funny parts. Like I said, I definitely chuckled though, John. I can say that.
Yeah, I did too. But I mean, I like to make comparisons to different films, and you bringing up Clue reminded me that I liked the house. Reminded me kind of the Clue house in a way, and it was kind of a Clue meet Sherlock Holmes
Yes.
type feel to it. An interesting thing about the house is real.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's a real house. However, the interior of
Yeah.
the house was filmed in a different location. So the interior of the cool-looking house is not the interior of that cool-looking house.
Yeah, the exterior shots, that house is in Boston.
Okay, so
Yeah.
did they even like model the inside after that house, or did they just kind of just
No.
I think they probably
screw
just
the
made a
outside?
set.
Or
Yeah.
here's a door. This symbolizes the front, and then
No.
the rest is like make believe.
No, the interiors were shot inside the Ames mansion at Borderland State Park,
Oh wow,
which looks nothing like.
the
Nothing
mansion
like
on the exterior.
Yeah.
Well, they did a good match then, because you can, from the exterior, you could imagine that what we saw interior
Yeah.
is it.
Well,
yeah.
especially, I mean, that's what the Ames.
Oh wow. Okay,
yeah.
so the Ames is like, for the audience, it's just a complete white.
It's a castle.
It's a
It looks like a castle compared to.
Well, I think it looks like a big box, like a big
Yeah,
square.
just a big square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the house they chose for the exterior. I do think I like the texture that they put on the interior. Like you felt like this guy.
felt like warm family.
Yes. That being said, I liked Benoit Blanc's laughing at Chris Evans's character, Ransom, whenever Ransom said, our ancestral home. And he was like, ancestral home? He's like, Harlan bought this place from a Pakistani real estate agent in the 1980s. I was like,
He's like, shut up.
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Somebody I didn't mention
laugh.
in the intro was the detective, the black detective.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of him? His real name is I just had it.
I've seen him.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes,
Lieutenant Elliot.
I've seen him somewhere else.
Other than Daniel Craig's character. I thought the other two were
That's right.
could have been replaceable. I mean, they to me the character the actors didn't add anything to them that made the characters disposable or not. I mean, I think that was very lukewarm with those two.
That's where I've seen him. He was in Selma. He was the lead in Selma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the actor himself, I'm sure, is a fine actor. I'm not saying anything about that.
I liked him. He was a good detective, and he definitely was he was like, okay, so I'm gonna play your game, but this is a suicide. It's just how it is. It's like, why you keep nitpicking at this? It's like, what is it with you?
Yeah,
But I think with Blanc, anyways, it's his. I have to figure this out. Like for me, anyways, it's like I don't care about anybody else.
that's what the script says, and I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, do you think that the actor brought anything to that script? Do you think he changed? Like, to me, I always try, like you're talking about comparisons. I always try and compare. Well, like let's say we put Idris Elba into that position. Idris Elba to me has a presence.
He would have been competing with Blanc.
It would have been.
No, that's my point. I completely agree with you, but that's my point is that that actor didn't really bring anything to that character. I don't think he was allowed to. I don't think there's anything to that character
You're probably right.
that makes it a standout. The standout is supposed to be
He has
Benoit
to be
Blanc.
unassuming in order to not upstage LeBlanc.
Is it LeBlanc or Blanc?
Sorry,
Just
Blanc.
Blanc.
How am I saying
Yeah.
Blanc?
Yeah. Well, I
Blanc.
think. Yeah.
Oh, I know why. Never mind.
Go. What?
No, I was just saying. Oh, now I know why I'm saying LeBlanc. Just hit me in the head, but never mind.
But if he in his character, he's already the case is closed.
Yeah.
In his eyes, so of course he's not going to be helping. Really, he's going to be the face of the investigation, quote unquote, just to make people at ease because he's an actual law enforcement officer.
Well, remember he says that Blanc is not there in any official capacity,
Right?
And yet
so
he takes
is the
direction
lead
from him.
detective.
And yet he takes direction from him during the first interrogation.
Well, it's not. Well, he does, and yeah, he does, but he's reluctant to. Do so.
Yeah, but reluctant or not, if he's not in charge of the investigation, why is he taking direction from him?
It's because he's a normal, average, everyday detective,
Right?
and
He's guys with the gun and the badge,
and you have this superstar, world renowned detective coming in.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you'd be an idiot not to at least hear him out, and go along with what he's go along with what he's doing. To say, okay, you know what, I'm not infallible.
Yeah.
I can be wrong.
Yeah.
So, and you're this genius. Let
Yeah.
me go ahead. Let's do this.
right?
Okay. I don't know.
So Marta actually got $60 million in assets and cash.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the real actress. I'm like, for this movie?
No,
Damn.
no.
Like, okay, well, my budget, for the
budget
movie just went up.
That's why I said Marta,
Yeah.
the character in this
Yeah.
movie.
Plus
got,
the house.
Yeah, well, that's with, I think, the house and everything.
No,
No,
60
that's
million
60 million.
liquid.
There's 60 million liquid,
Oh, okay. So,
60 million cash. The house was tacked on,
And then the
the
business.
business was tacked on.
Yeah.
so the house is probably $4 million, but anyway.
Yeah, probably, or more. We don't know how big the grounds are.
It looks
Yeah.
huge, and it looks like
does.
it's buds up to a lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I'm
But
gonna
anyway.
So they
That
own the
leads
land
me-
under the lake, but not the water. Anyway, go ahead.
say it is. Yes, exactly.
It leads me to the budget for this movie,
Oh, yeah.
right? So, what do you guys think the budget was for this movie?
So let's see. Don Johnson, Jamie Lee Curtis, Daniel Craig,
I
Michael
know.
Shannon, Christopher Plummer, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, sort of.
He
Voice
probably
actor.
did it pro bono.
I'm going to say... I really like the texture they put on the inside of the house.
So do I.
There was a lot of money spent there on that set. So,
Or fake money. It's all styrofoam.
yeah. I'm going to say budget for making it, right?
Yeah.
200 million.
Okay.
It's just high. It's super high,
I was
but
gonna say that is kind of high.
I'm thinking
but
Daniel Craig got 30 million, 40 million himself.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I think so.
Okay.
I'm
For
gonna
that
go.
accent?
I'm gonna go with yes, KFC.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 95 million.
Okay.
That's probably a better guess.
I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle then. 125.
Okay. You guys all overbid.
I knew it. I was gonna say 50 million.
Majorly.
Oh, really?
Yes, the estimated budget was $40 million.
Wow.
Only 40, which makes sense just because a lot of these actors in these hodgepodge movies, they kind of do it just for fun. This is kind of a fun movie.
Yeah.
It has everybody in it. It's Wes Anderson to a T. He brings in all these people just because they want to actually work with Wes Anderson.
I want to point out.
Not necessarily everybody in this movie like, oh man, I want to work with Ryan Johnson, but
Yeah.
it's working with other people in a sense.
I think if Wes Anderson directed this, it would have been better.
It probably would have been.
Yeah.
I agree
It would have
with
been
that.
quirkier.
It would have been no, but I think that's what was missing. Like there was a lot of things to it that
There was no main color.
it felt like they were trying to be quirky, but
Red.
didn't come
Burgundy.
across that way.
But I
Yeah.
did like the colors.
The colors
me
were
too.
great.
I did like there's
Yeah.
there's parts about it I did like. I did like that.
The
yeah.
whole filmmaking piece. I mean, I really liked how the film for the most part. The cinematography is phenomenal.
I like it, yeah.
And the camera is I think it's only handheld or not on a tripod, like a steady shot once. Mm-hmm. And that's when Marta runs outside and the
Yes.
family's following her after the will's been read, and it's going crazy. I'm like, holy crap! I can feel her anxiety.
Yeah.
That's my favorite shot.
I agree.
The start of that shot is locked down.
Yes.
It is on a steady cam. And then when she comes out and it's all steady, but
And I
then
think
when the
it's-
family members come down,
Yeah.
It starts.
It starts
I
getting
think it's on a
handheld.
jib. And then, yeah, they actually, literally, you can actually see the camera coming off of
Right.
the
It looks
the
like
mount.
somebody takes it off.
They probably pulled a 1917.
Right.
Well,
where
yeah.
they just had two guys and they just lifted the camera off and they
1917,
started
you
moving
can't
it
tell
around.
when it's actually on the jib or when it's being
No,
handheld.
that was genius.
That's what's
But then,
ridiculous.
but then it's all handheld and it's following Marta. She gets in the car and then it goes down to the passenger side window and then
Yes.
it gets locked down again.
Yes.
Because now she's like safe inside her car.
Right.
Even though the family members are still going crazy outside.
That was a really
that
good
was really
shot,
cool.
and I actually it caught my eye. I'm like, wait a minute, did that just get taken off of the jib?
Yeah.
And I had to rewind it. Like, yeah, okay, shit, it was, and
Yeah.
that's it. Kind of blew my mind a little bit.
So I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Talking about budget and talk about cinematography together. Do you guys think this was shot digitally or on film?
digitally.
2019.
Digitally.
Film.
You saying that makes me want to say film, but my original thought was digital.
It's digital.
It was just digital.
Yeah, the cinematographer created a process to try to make it look more like film. He made some kind of, quote unquote script that goes back through the film and takes a look at how highlights on around like candles and lighting and stuff like that and how it blooms and replicates the film and stuff.
Oh wow. I totally would not have caught that because I mean,
Yes, he created a
Well,
script. You
how
see,
cool is that?
010011.
it is actually. I did notice the candles, and that's what made me think it was film.
Yeah.
because it does have that aura.
And there is some film grain in there, but they must have added that.
Wow,
Listen,
After-
it is cool. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
that is neat.
It's very cool.
So-
So what did it make?
So yeah, what did this movie make? I'm gonna do. I'll give you guys opening weekend. This came out December 1st, 2019.
What did
So-
it make opening weekend?
I
Yeah.
saw this in theaters, so it made at least $10.
Nice. Not in 3D.
Go ahead, John. What do you think? Opening
Knives
weekend.
being thrown at you in 3D.
Let's see, opening weekend. We're doing opening weekend.
Yeah, opening weekend.
U.S. or worldwide?
U.S.
U.S.
I'll say 20 million.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2 million.
I'm gonna
Wow.
go in the middle. 8.
All right. So John was very, very close. It was $26.7 million.
Interesting.
Nice.
So it made a little over half of its budget, which is very, very good.
Yeah,
in
very
an
good on the
opening
opening
weekend.
weekend, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, cumulative worldwide gross.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say it definitely made its money back. What'd you say the total budget was again?
Total budget was $40 million.
40 million.
yeah, they made more than half of that in the first weekend. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go. I'm gonna say we're like 150 million.
Okay.
107 million.
Okay.
What? I'm sorry. I felt like I just got stabbed with a fake knife. What?
107.83 million.
107.2 million, Bob.
Oh, you mean you didn't see that one coming?
No, I didn't. Jesus. I don't know. I'm gonna go 200 million again. Fuck it.
Okay. So yeah, you said 150,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, Eddie was the closest at $311 million.
Wow.
This
Jesus.
thing made. Now, gross USA was about half that as 165 million.
So you would have won that one.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
Worldwide, it definitely tenfold won its money back, and that's why they're making a second one.
Well, what do you think that the critics gave Knives Out on Rotten Tomatoes?
94%.
Ooh,
95%.
90%.
97.
Oh,
So you said 95?
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking one up me, you bitch.
I was gonna one down you, but
Yeah,
And what do you think the audience gave?
93%.
92%.
You're such a dick.
would you say 93?
Yeah.
Or 94%?
92.
We'll just box them. Oh wow,
Such a dick.
Nice.
on the nose.
Well, I know that I'm in the 8% then. At least that's good. Okay.
So, John, why don't you go ahead and kick us off for what Screen Riot hosts are going to grade Knives Out?
Okay. So like I said, I love the cast. I love the colors. The editing, I think, was amazing. I liked the story, the pacing. I liked it all. It kept my attention the entire time, and I think it's a movie that I'd probably rewatch every couple of years. You know, this was my second time watching it, but I just like the pacing mainly because very rarely does a over 2 hour movie keep me on the edge of my seat, like going, okay, like. I think the closest one was whenever I was like, I forget what age I was. It was like whenever Apollo 13 came out. I was on the edge of my seat the entire movie in the theater, and this film make me feel the same way as I'm paying attention to it. I'm not going, oh man, how much longer do I have, to sit through this film?
Right.
So based on all that, I'm gonna give this one an 8.2.
Okay, an 8.2 for John. So then it comes to me. So yeah, I like the feel of this. I like the look of it. I like the story. I do agree with you that I do feel it's a little long. In fact, I remember reading something about when they were starting to do the table reads for this movie. The biggest criticism that kept coming up was how dense the first 30 pages are. Like the studio was almost about to push Rian Johnson to cut down the first 30 pages in some way, or to simplify it.
Yeah.
So, with all that, yeah, I think the editing is fine. Cinematography is fine. I'm not a huge fan of the Benoit, KFC junk.
KFC CIA.
I will
come
say
on.
this. I will say this though, real fast. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
If KFC is smart though, they will absolutely fucking join forces
Put
with
Daniel Craig's
Knives
image
Out
of-
too, and be like, I say, 37 flavors. What is it? 37 herbs and spices.
Get the Blanc 8 special.
Oh, nice.
Do you have any chicken?
I'll take a bucket of Blanc, please, with extra mustard. Like,
With a side of Benoit sauce.
Yeah.
oh my god.
They made a
KFC
sauce.
should hire you because Benoit sauce sounds like an actual sauce that you
does.
could pour over this shit. Yeah, if KFC is smart, they would join forces.
This is my second time seeing this movie. It's not one that I go to, seek out and try to find and watch again. I might watch it again if someone hasn't seen it. Again, I'm gonna go with a 7.5 for me.
Okay. So, John, you brought up Apollo 13, and you brought up something else a second ago that made me think you're right. Like, you're 100% right? Apollo 13 had me sitting on the edge of my seat, too. This movie did not. Oh, I know what it was. You said that, you didn't find yourself going, how much longer do I have watching this movie? I did. I found myself, like, halfway through going, okay, at some point they're just going to wrap this, right? Like this is getting to the point where it's like it's fairly obvious who it's coming down to. I almost was hoping for a flip. I was almost hoping for all signs point to Ransom, but it was actually Marta. The bitch did it on purpose, and nobody knew, and everyone blows up at the end, and I was waiting for that, to possibly happen. It didn't go that way. It was very much a formulaic. Detective story. You know what I mean? Which is fine. It's fine that it is that. It really is. But it didn't wow me in a lot of ways. Now that being said, I did like the cinematography. I did like the coloring. Most of the casting choices were fine. I don't like Jamie Lee Curtis still, but whatever. But yeah, so in general, it was okay. I've seen this movie now 1.5 times because I tried to watch it twice and I couldn't make it through the second time. I got bored watching it the second time. So for me, I mean,
that's kind of insulting.
well, I'm sorry. I tried. I did try. I really tried. But I was like, well, I know why this happened and why this, it lost it for me. So, I mean, for me, it would, it's a 5. I mean, it was nice. I did enjoy the coloring. I enjoyed a lot of pieces about it, but it was just pieces. I didn't enjoy the whole thing as a whole, I should say.
Okay,
You know?
Kyle?
Yeah, so I mean, everything was pretty much said about this movie that needed to be. Obviously, as a film, technically wise, it's very nicely done. Acting could have been, helped up along the way, But this, talking about it, when I was watching it, once the climax happened, which actually happened almost right at the very middle of the movie. Like when the will was read. The will was read at the very middle of the movie.
Well, that wasn't a climax, though. That was a conflict.
Well, I would say that would be the climax, because that's when everything shifted.
Okay.
Everything shifted from Marta being the greatest to Marta being the worst. So that was the apex of Marta's character, I think. And how the characters actually saw her in that movie.
Okay.
But that may have just been Marta's climax anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm sorry, Marta's climax.
don't go there.
I'm not trying to.
The little miniature Selma Hayek.
That's Knives Out too.
She did remind me of
Knives Out too. Marta's climax. Go ahead.
She did remind me of like a miniature Selma Hayek.
I agree with that.
I did too. She's very pretty.
I was like, wow, is this Selma Hayek's daughter? No, it's not. But anyway, with all that, I think I'm going to go with a 7.6 on this one.
I'm sorry. Marta's climax threw me, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to
Join
hold
me
it.
for Knives Out too.
That's what Knives Out
Search
is.
for
Marta's
Marta's climax.
Search for Martha's climax.
Marta.
Okay, so basically with all that, then Knives Out gets a Screen Riot score of 7.1.
Nice.
Which I think is kind of fair.
Yeah, I think that's
so
fair.
too.
Eddie would not, but that's okay.
No, I'm not. I don't think that's not a fair score. I think that's a fair score. I'm the outlier. I mean, I typically am. I mean, I enjoy a different type of movie.
Right.
And I really think this movie, I will say, this movie had a lot of the nuts and bolts needed to make it better, in my opinion. But my opinion's one person's.
Right.
There were 92% of people apparently on Rotten Tomatoes who disagree with me. So.
Yep. So now we need to spin for the host and the movie genre that they're going to pick from for the next episode. So, John.
Okay.
Before you spin, what do we have left? There's only 3, right?
Yes, there's only 3. There's fantasy, romance, and sci-fi.
Okay.
Before we spin, by the way, since there's only 3, don't we have a contest coming up?
We will. I'm going to do all that.
Yeah, cool.
Never? Okay.
Okay, here we go. And the victim is Eddie.
Hey. Nice.
There.
Good.
Nope. Okay.
And now,
The genre.
what genre?
What are the 3 left?
About to find out.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Romance.
I had to know it was coming.
Okay, Eddie, what's the pick gonna be?
Let's do Safety Not Guaranteed 2012.
Okay.
Safety Not Guaranteed 2012. Let's do that.
I wonder if I've seen that or not.
So
I've heard a lot about it, but I have not seen it.
So it's got Aubrey Plaza in it, and it's a couple of guys that don't matter, and because it's Aubrey Plaza, and she is a intern. She's an intern for a newspaper company, and basically they're trying to look for interesting stories to exploit,
news articles,
basically news articles to exploit, and they come across a classified that reads person needed to travel back in time, safety not guaranteed, and they decide to investigate, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you want to join along with the podcast, go ahead and go to justwatch.com. You can look up Safety Not Guaranteed and see everywhere that it's streaming or where you can rent it. And then you can be caught up with us. So thanks for listening to this show. And today, guys, we're announcing our Season 2 contest. So if you'd like to win a free Screen Riot t-shirt, here's what you have to do. Okay, so pay attention. All right, so number 1. Look for either the Facebook or the Twitter post that mentions the Season 2 contest. Then comment on the post with 3 movie picks, right? You can pick any movie, any genre, as long as we haven't already reviewed it. Okay.
Right.
So make sure you go to AmericanPodcasting.net, click on the Screen Riot show. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see all of our rankings and all of the movies that we've done so far. Just make sure one of your 3 movies don't include that. Otherwise, we're not going to put it on the wheel. And then lastly, you have to, this is a big must, you have to like and share the post. Okay?
Yep.
Otherwise, you won't be counted. Or if it's on Twitter, you just retweet it. Right? So if you do those 3 things, then the movies that you picked will be added to the wheel. And then on the last episode of the season, we're going to spin the wheel, see who won, see what movie we have to review. They'll do the reveal, and then the rest will be history. We'll get in contact with you to get your size and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So spread the word and let everybody know. Also, I'm not saying it'll help, but if you leave a review... it might help your chances.
It'd be a shame if you don't actually review the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll put you on the wheel twice if you leave a review.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's an idea.
So anyway, leave a review if you haven't yet. It definitely helps us out. It spreads the word about the podcast. Also go to our social media. Let us know what you think of the show, all that kind of stuff, and we will see you guys next Saturday.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.